Hey y'all, it's Taylor from Tattoo Teacher Plans. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Today we're doing a monthly highlights video, and this is in my new-ish Lights Planner Action coiled insert planner. And the format on this is a little bit different from my previous monthly videos, and I'm kind of memory keeping it versus pre-planning it. So it's a little bit different format, but I am excited to try this out. I have done one other one. Let me show you January, and it just looks really cute, and I'm excited to try this. So I noticed in doing this that I do need to adapt some things and trim and do all of that. So we're going to just kind of figure this out as we go. This is a caress press kit, so I'm familiar with the format, but this is a different the dimensions are different and the sizing is different. So let me show you what I have to work with. Here is this is called the Lazy Days kit. This is the kind of first page with the covers that go across the top, and I don't know exactly how I'm going to do this, but again, we're just figuring this out as we go. We've got some icons here, the cover that goes across the top, some vacation strips, some full box covers, and then we've got this extra like strip here that's supposed to go here. As you can see, it's slightly too big. The deco sheet with some extra boxes, and then the sidebar sticker. So everything is going to, oh, and this page too, with some labels and holidays and things like that. So I am going to have to adapt, but that is totally fine. Not everyone uses the same format, so I'm excited to try this. This is the Happy Planner Classic size, so it's taller than a normal standard size, but I have found that I'm totally making it work. Here is a spread right here that I recently did a plan with me on, if you want to check that out. But yeah, the monthlies are where I really have to adapt things. This is easy because like this is easy because it's wide open. But with the, how it's printed on the page, we're just going to have to work with it. And I can totally do that. So this is going to go here. I don't know if I'm going to lay this down, but we'll see. And then here are the covers that go across the top here. And then I think that this one is supposed to go, I really don't know, honestly. What is this? Oh, these are like just boxes, I think. Oh no. I don't know, honestly, what's happening with this. We're gonna just try this out and see. Maybe this goes here. And then this one goes here. I think that's probably how it goes. Okay, again, we're just going to do this together and see what happens, and I will definitely speed you through it so it's not a million years long. But yeah, let's get into this. I've got notes. I had a Google Doc from when I couldn't really write very well, so I'm going to refer to that. And then I've also, I'm back in my Moxie Life, and I've got my memory planner notes over in that planner. So I've got my laptop over here and my Moxie Life over here, and we're going to make it happen. So let's get started. So first thing I'm going to do is put the covers across the top, and the way that I'm going to modify this is by centering it. So I'm taking Monday and Tuesday and kind of putting them in the middle and then trimming off the edges. So none of the days of the week are centered on the columns. It totally doesn't bother me, so I'm fine with it. But that seemed to be the best way to do this. On the other side, I centered the Friday, as you can see here, and then just trimmed off both sides. So that's how I'm going to do it with caress press kits in this planner. I think it's a fine way to do it. If there's any other ideas that you guys have, let me know. But I think it looks fine and it works. Some of the other boxes don't necessarily line up, as you will see, but we can make it work. I think that's the theme here. I think I've said that probably 4 times by now. So as you can see, the sidebar sticker is too wide and too short. So I just added this full box down at the bottom just to fill the space, and I'll just trim everything off. So I'm trimming the side and then trimming the bottom. And this, again, just, it works. It's not perfect, but for what I want, this is totally fine. The crust paste paper, if you don't lay it down all the way, it actually looks, or it lifts really well. Okay, so here I can see here that it's not gonna work because lining it up with the artwork, you couldn't read the Hey Sunday on it. So I just left, or Happy Sunday, I can't remember what it said. I just left it. And then I put down this strip at the bottom, which that's where it's meant to go. But because the sizing is a little different, there's a little space at the top. Again, just doesn't bother me. It's fine. So instead of using that box here before the first day of the month, I just put in some deco. And I wanted to use that kitty again because I think it's cute. Okay, so now we're going to get into the plans. We'll come back to the numbers because I totally forgot to put those in. On Monday here, I had an orthopedic appointment. And at the appointment, this was to go over my CT scan results and stuff. And the doctor decided that I did need surgery. Luckily, the surgery was very simple. He just put 2 screws into my elbow and I was able to use it within a couple of days. And I'm working on physical therapy now. So I did have to spend pretty much the rest of the day preparing for surgery. So I did some stuff around my house that I could do, and then I had to get a COVID test at the hospital and do some paperwork and do some insurance work also on the first. So I put in that sticker party COVID test sticker, which is just kind of cute, which is a weird thing to say, but I wanted to use it. And then on the second, that was my surgery day. I had surgery at 8 a.m. or 8:30 a.m. And I have a weird pain thing where things just don't really work very well on me. And so they tried to use a nerve block and the nerve block didn't work. It numbed my hand, which was fine because my hand hurt, but totally didn't numb my elbow. Now, when I got home, it did travel up my arm for like a couple hours, but by the end of the night, it was like completely gone. So that was kind of a bust. I got through it though. I just used ice and just kind of rested a lot. So here I'm putting in the numbers because I totally forgot that part. I'm a little rusty. Okay, so on the 3rd, I wanted to mark in here that I was in a lot of pain. My mom had me on a schedule of taking medicine, and it would work for like an hour or two, and then I just slept. So sleep was my friend. But on this day, we took the bandage off to look at it just to make sure it was good because the nurse told us to do that. It looked good. And we also watched Hamilton. We didn't watch the whole thing, but we watched part of it. The first part, which is my favorite part. And then on Thursday here, the 4th, I put in a little planner sticker because I decided to revise my planner stack and just use some other things. So that's where this planner came in. I ordered this planner in early February or maybe late January. I can't remember, but it came in February and I started using it. I also watched a ton of Friends on the 4th. And then on the 5th, I just used the sticker party, Ben & Jerry's. I just wanted to use that sticker really, but I was feeling a lot better. I felt like I kind of turned a corner. On Friday, I woke up and just kind of felt like it was going to be better. And then I worked on my defensive driving course that afternoon. Got that all done. And then on the 6th, on this day, I worked on my goals. So I'm going to mark that in just a second. But I also watched this really great show on HBO Max called I May Destroy You. It was very sad and like funny in parts and sweet, but also just like really hard to watch. But like when I finished it, it was so good. I really, really liked it. I'm not going to say I enjoyed it, but it was really, really good. So here is where I am marking in my February goals. I really just simplified everything. I couldn't really write during this time, so I just made a table in a Google Doc and just did what I could. And then on Sunday, I just had a lazy day. I was going back to work the next day, so I really just wanted to relax and just kind of recharge before I was going to go back to school. And then on the 8th, I'm just pulling a Crafty Banana coffee cup in like the periwinkle color to mark in that that was my first day back. It was really good to be back. Although this whole entire week, I kind of just stuck to my office. Some people didn't even know that I was back until like the next week on the other campuses, because I just kind of just chilled and did what I could, but didn't try, well, I tried not to overexert myself, but I definitely did at times. I also ordered some Valentine's presents for my nephews and my sister. Okay, on the 9th, I just used one of these square boxes to mark that I was hurting and really tired and I did too much. So I gave myself a speech every day. Don't do too much. Don't type too much. But I was just excited to be back at work. I had a lot of stuff to make up and like catch up on, and I just did too much. But I did find my balance kind of in the next week and the week after. So on the 10th, I wanted to mark in here that I was working on a project at work and I found a solution to a major problem that we were having with some automation, with some programs we were using. It's complicated. I won't get into it. But anyway, I worked with the IT, like, big guy, like the head of the IT. He's really nice. And he helped me so much and he got it worked out for me. So he changed some stuff in the network. It was great. Okay, and then also on this day, I wanted to mark that we had so many laughs at lunch. My lunch crew cracks me up sometimes. We have this funny, like, thing that we always say about how it's been 0 days since, like, someone has told an inappropriate story, and it's been 0 days since, like, whatever it is that we're making fun of ourselves about. But they are just the best, and they're just so hilarious. And then on the 11th, I was especially feeling my hand this day. So if you don't know, like during my accident, the right side of my body took most of the impact because it's just how it happened. And so I broke my elbow, and then my hand either hit the windshield or like the windshield hit it when it caved in from the impact. I was going very fast too. I was going about 65, 70 on a rural road, and a truck in front of me just was like going 5 miles an hour trying to make it into town after they'd blown a tire. So they shouldn't have been doing that, but I hit them because I couldn't swerve, I couldn't do anything. It was just a bad situation. But I swerved enough where just the right side of my car hit like the front right. And so yeah, my hand was real messed up, and it's just gonna be a lot of therapy and working to get it to where it's the new normal for it. My other hand just had some muscle damage, so I just have this like really simple brace on it to keep my thumb from moving around. Anyway, I kind of veered off path here, but on the 11th, I did a bunch of insurance paperwork because this is complicated and a lot of money, but I have pretty good insurance. And then on the 12th, I was feeling pretty good on this day. I kind of found my balance by Friday. I also watched Crime Scene, the Cecil Hotel series on Netflix. That is definitely one of my favorite like crime stories, and it was pretty fascinating. And then on the 13th, I played in my new memory planner, which is what you're watching right now. And then we get into the snowpocalypse. So on the 14th, it was so cold. So this was when the cold front really like blasted in, and it got down to -11, which is unheard of where I live. we get snow where I live. We get ice, all kinds of stuff. But like the sustained cold and like how cold it was just historic. And I put in this Crafty Banana sticker, I smell snow candle, because it started snowing on that day and basically just never stopped. So we actually were working from home this entire week, and that's mainly because of the snow and the power grid. Nobody around here wanted to overwhelm the power grid. And we're actually, where I live, we're not on the bad one that kind of screwed over everybody in the rest of Texas. I'm in a part of Texas that is on a separate grid system, thankfully, but they still did a couple of rolling blackouts and things like that. And we ended up teaching from home, and all the schools were pretty much closed or learning from home. So on the 15th, I just have a note here that night I watched the Framing Britney Spears series. Well, it wasn't a series. It was just an episode of the New York Times show. It was really sad. Like, I am a Britney Spears fan, and I always have been. But that was really, really sad. I knew a lot of the story, but I didn't know all the details, and I couldn't remember like how they treated her. It was horrible. Definitely recommend if you are interested in her story. And then on the 16th, the power did go out for about an hour, but luckily came back on, and I didn't have any, I had a little flickering, but it didn't go out again. And then on the 17th, I worked on a bunch of lesson planning and just trying to kind of catch up on that. And then I also was getting a little bit of cabin fever, so I marked that. On the 18th, that evening, I did my taxes, and I actually forgot a couple of things that I didn't include as I have a note here that I need to keep better records. I will keep better records on the self-employment side, like the YouTube and all of that, so that next year is not quite so confusing for me. But I just forgot a couple of things that would have been helpful. And then on the 19th, I have this cute sticker from Coffee Monsters Co. I watched Ted Lasso. I still have 2 episodes left. That show is so sweet and just adorable. I highly recommend it. It's on Apple TV. It's so cute. And then on also on that day, I went and practiced my driving. The roads were cleared off for the most part in the neighborhood. There were a couple of icy spots and things like that. But I was able to get on the highway and actually practice, or not practice, really just get comfortable driving again, because this was the first time that I had really driven for a sustained amount of time, and I just wanted to be comfortable before I started driving to work again, and that really was helpful. I was able to process everything and just kind of work through it on my own time, and it was good. And then on Friday, I took a walk in the sunshine. It was like the snow had never been there. It was beautiful. And I also ordered from one of my favorite restaurants. And then on the 21st, I just had a huge cleaning spree, and I actually vacuumed for the first time in like a month. Luckily, I'd had my parents there to do it for me this month, but this was the point where it took me a while. I was slow, but I did it. And then my family came in just for the night. They were getting their second COVID shot. So my sister has developmental disabilities, and my parents are her guardian, obviously. And so they were encouraged to go ahead and get that done. And my city is like a machine at vaccinating people, and they were welcome to come up here and do it. So they did. And that made me feel really just really good to have that done. And then also on the 22nd, I drove to work for the first time in forever. And then I also had an appointment with my ortho doctor. He said my elbow's great, but I need physical therapy for my hands, which I have already been, and I've got a bunch of appointments scheduled so that I can help my hand heal. Both of them, I guess. And then on the 23rd, I just pulled one of these boxes. I'm going to pull this up in a minute because I just didn't like the way that it looked, and I wanted to use another one of those boxes. But I had a meeting with my principals, and they were just like so in my corner and so kind. and they just reassured me about some changes that are happening in our district and for next year especially. And my principal is just, both of them are just so great. And as a team, they really are awesome. And I just felt the support from them. And I'm really excited about next year. I'm going to be taking on some other responsibilities, and it's really just like so good. I'm really excited. And then on the 24th, we had some really, really great teacher meetings that I wanted to mark. We are exploring standards-based learning and grading, and our conversations lately have been incredible. And I'm just really excited about where we're going to go from here with next year, and it's just going to be really, really positive for our kids and for them too. And so I just used a little meeting sticker from Coffee Monsters Co. And then also on this evening, I finally filmed some videos. They were short and sweet videos, but, and they required no writing, which was nice. But it was nice to get back to filming because I have missed this community and just making videos. I love creating, and it's been fun to be back. And on the 25th, I wanted to make a note here that sleep is a priority for me now. I, throughout this experience, have realized how important that is to me. And then on the 26th, I got my first COVID-19 vaccine dose. Very exciting. I have this sticker party sticker here, and I was expecting to feel like something, but I really didn't feel much of anything. My arm was sore like on Saturday, but that was it. So I'm expecting for the next one to be a little more rough, but first one was kind of a breeze. And also on the 27th, I have a note here that I'm just excited to be back to YouTube. And then I also have been starting to walk again, like outside, and I got up to 1.7 miles. My arm gets really sore and tired, but I'm working my way up from here. And then on the 28th, I did a lot of content planning, and I wanted to mark that, as well as my brother-in-law and my sister called me on this evening, and they asked me to be my nephew's guardian if, God forbid, it is needed. So they're putting that in their will, and I didn't even have to think about it. I didn't hesitate. I just said yes, for sure. I love my nephews so, so much, and they're precious, precious little boys, and I would be happy to do that if, hopefully, that doesn't happen. But if it did, I would be prepared. And then I wanted to fill in the space because it just didn't look right to leave it blank, and so I just put in that strip there and just trimmed it at the edge. I really like how that looks. And then I wanted to fit in just a little bit of this deco, and so I found this little empty spot over here, and I just put it right underneath that little label. Here's this spread all finished up. That took me quite a while, about an hour, but I think that I kind of know what I want to do from here, so I think the future ones will be a little quicker, but I'm really impressed with how this turned out. Like, it works. I had to do a lot of cutting, as you saw, but I really love how this turned out, and it looks super fun, and I just love like a full monthly spread. I used to kind of add washi and stuff, and I may still do that in the future, but with this one, this was an important month, and I just wanted to kind of flesh everything out and have lots of things in here for this month. So I just love this. It looks so cute. I'm really, really like happy with this. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this monthly highlights video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and I'll see you next time. Bye.